Hello, everyone. Today I'm hanging out with Joe Hopkins, and Joe has some very exciting pictures that he sent me that I'm going to show on TV while Joe talks about them. And they're amazing, guys. Just
Well,
ready for
yeah,
this. Here's Joe. How you doing,
it's going to be
Joe?
a cool. Hey, I'm doing good, man. It's going to be a cool show. We're going to talk about Johnson numbers, and that's a thing that one of the things that we found when I first got looking into this thing, and you would think, that you would only find, one or two giants, but what I ended up finding was giants in numbers, man. And by that I mean, I might find them, with, you know, literally like 500 giants in a field, and that's just like hard to believe. But we're going to show you some pictures that show that, and it's an amazing thing because it's just hard to fathom that they could be in those kind of numbers. But when you get up in remote areas where these things could actually exist and no one ever goes, and of course there are lots of places when you think about, like, I found giants in numbers like this in Alaska or out west in big mountainous regions, and there's a lot of regions and state park regions even that people can't go, but something could be there. So these shots he's going to show today are some things that I ran into while on Google Earth, and I think they're pretty compelling. I think they're pretty compelling.
You ready, Joe?
I'm ready, sir.
Okay, here we go, everyone.
Shot number one. Oh, yeah.
Hold on. Gotta work with me here.
Yeah. Now, this is the kind of thing we're talking about that I would find, and what you can see is, if you'll notice, these are not trees. Nothing about this is a tree. And the giants themselves, what you can see is their heads. You can see the shape of their heads at the top. And so throughout this picture, I can see different giants, and they're wearing different clothing.
Try to go in a little closer, Joe. Maybe that'll
Yeah. Getting some pretty good detail out of that shot, showing
I'll kind of
you can
like
see
move
literally
around.
giants just sitting there chilling, and it's amazing how different they all look. Some of them have green skin, I see. Some of them look like just people with beards. Some of them look like completely different creatures that don't even look human. But yet there they are, and what they're all doing here, I have no idea. But what I can be fairly sure of is I can't just find it hard to believe that those are all statues out in the middle of this field.
No, and they're
And when
definitely
you can,
not trees, Joe.
when you can really see the expressions on their faces, and this shot's coming through really better than I expected. There you can see some of these creatures there. You can see a creature that's just got a bug head. Some of them have ant heads, and there's some people called the ant people. There are people that are known to live under the earth that look like insects. And then some of these giants just have big cartoonish looking faces. Some of them look exactly like humans. It's just the strangest thing ever. But this shot really has some fantastic detail on a subject that's really hard to get. I'm really impressed with the detail here that I'm seeing in this shot because I haven't got to look at it this close, but man, that's coming through pretty nice. It's not perfect, but you can definitely see that
Look
these
at
are
them
people.
all.
They're
Amazing.
giant people, and some of them are larger. You can see some of them are like 30% larger than the other giants. So you've got different sizes. They're not just all like, and these are not 10-foot giants. All of these giants would start at, I would say, 30 feet. Start at 30 feet. The big ones could be 60 feet, 80 feet. But this is nothing to do with an 8-foot or 7-foot person. These are big, big people. And it's just amazing, dude. That is amazing coming through. Awesome. That looks pretty amazing there. Some of them you can see their head shapes are just nothing close to human, but you can tell they're there, and you can see the expressions on their faces. And of course, the number of beings here is what's really hard to fathom. And what are they doing? You know, what would you be doing here? You know, here you can see some. Look at that. Look at those pyramid things over there at the top right corner there. And these things in this picture. This is looks to me like some architecture. And the thing about this stuff is that nothing about it seems really ancient or run down. I mean, obviously this stuff is in use here. And there are people hanging out at it. So, you know, it's like there are places that's still going on. That was an awesome shot, dude.
Nice.
Love that.
I'm just trying to get it in so everyone can see.
Dude, that was awesome. That was some great detail. I was digging that, man. I was in on that, you know. What else you got? You got any of those zoom-in shots? Or
yes.
You got any of those other clear shots of those... I don't think we got any red-headed giants on this round, but I have caught the red-headed giants before, and people laugh about that. I had a lot of people laugh at me. Shocker! People laugh at you.
Well,
you
know, it's hard for people to believe. You know, I can
yeah,
see that.
And I forgive them. You know, it's like, okay, you know, I get it. You know, it is a tough subject. It's a tough.
And it is scary.
It's scary, and when you tell people that you have hard data on it, they give you a fairly blank look, which means that either A, they don't know what hard data is, or B, they don't want to consider your hard data that you have on the subject. Either of which are curious responses to me to something that's just like a real flaming, interesting subject to me, and to have hard data on it to me is like, wow, amazing. Like you said, hey, I've got some real clear photos of Sasquatch and an interview with him and everything. People would be like, holy crap, let's see that, man. And that's
but
what
the
we're
next
saying.
person's gonna. I'm religious, man. I don't believe that. A lot of religious people.
You know, a lot of people. There's a lot of humps to get over there. You know, you can.
And I think that's a big part of it. You know,
if
there's
you're a
religion that
person,
they made, and a story they made, and everyone follows that. And their different beliefs, Catholic, Christian, you know, what if,
yeah.
And it's you know, to bring it out and tell the truth, it's like they're just it's going to come upon and they're going to get busted, and then just hopefully they don't nuke us all. You know what I mean? Well, fuck these people. Get rid of the people because they know too much now, and let's start over. And maybe that's part of back in the day when they used to talk about the New World Order, Joe. Maybe it was the you know, the New World Order, one belief, one what was it? One belief, one order. So we're gonna listen to one person. Who's this one person, man? Who's the one person? Is it an alien, an extraterrestrial, a giant?
Yeah, this is not a good thing there, man. Yeah, that's all.
You know what I mean? And just hopefully they don't get rid of us over it. It's like, oh, great, you know. A lot of alien.
I think we're at an awesome age. It's going to be an awesome age of truth, a golden age, an awesome age to just bring the truth out to the light, and that's what we're going to do.
What religion are you, Joe?
Huh?
What religion are you?
Dude, I'm a Christian, man.
Okay, you're a Christian. I came from a Catholic family, but I just never believed in any of it. I got baptized too when I was a kid. It wasn't up to me. I was a baby when they baptized me. Wasn't up to me, and
I understand that.
I don't believe in none of it. I believe they lie to us all the time about everything, and all the high top government people will tell you that you know, there's different people. William Tompkins, you know, worked for NASA and all that. He says that everything's a lie. Everything we're told is a lie. And I believe that pretty much, man.
It's just true because
and I don't blame them. Maybe they have to make that law and that way up for people to listen and not to panic, but they have to listen and keep a little order going on. Go to church, love thy neighbor, this that.
yeah,
Maybe that's to keep people at bay. I think a lot of people are born with love and born with hatred or meanness.
yeah,
My son's never seen any meanness, and boy, sometimes he'll get mean and try to scratch me, and
yeah,
I'm like, I've never taught him that, nothing.
yeah.
And I watch him. Sometimes he
Kid,
plays with his tablet and he gets mad, he gets upset, and then
yeah,
he'll throw something down, and I'm like, why would you do that? No one's taught you
yeah.
that. It's like I seen him just be born
Frustrated.
with that. Yeah,
It's
so
frustrated.
so it's in us, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And so I mean, I hope love is in us like that, and I mean, unless
it
it's up
is.
to our parents to teach us and the things out there to teach us. But I appreciate that, and I appreciate, I guess I appreciate the lies in all reality. And
Yeah.
nobody's probably ever said that, but you gotta appreciate the
It's a
lies in
difficult.
order.
It's a
You gotta
difficult.
appreciate the lies in order to be safe.
Yeah,
If imagine if they just said, okay, there's giants, and they just let it have free for all. I think life would change for a lot of us. You know
yeah,
what I mean? In the Solomons Island, the chief talks of villages being attacked.
yeah.
And they were just fixing up the village from being attacked by
Well,
giants,
totality for me,
hairy creature
It's like,
giants. So,
and we just need people to understand one thing. There's nothing in it for us. Like, man, I can tell you, I've studied giants for 20 years, and I can tell you there is nothing in it as far as, I'm making millions of dollars on the giant business.
yeah, no.
Academia hates this subject with all capitals. Everyone hates this subject. If you're accredited and you're someone important, you hate this subject. And it's like, I wish it wasn't that way because it doesn't need to be that way. But the real truth is, academia wants to sell you the millions of years, and that's just out the window. It doesn't take millions of years. And then the second thing is they tell you that you come from an ape man, which is ridiculous. Adam was the first man who was made perfect. Adam didn't learn things. He was already intelligent. Adam named every animal on the planet. So what you find out is we're degenerating instead of evolving. We're devolving. And that's the real truth when you think about what.
It's all lies, Joe. We just been lied to.
Think about it. The oldest man, Methuselah, 969 years. Someone lived 900 years in the old world, and I'm talking about the antediluvian world, the world before the flood. But there was more oxygen in the atmosphere, and these are facts. They're not debatable. They're facts. So the fact that there are giants, this is another fact, and it was common knowledge.
Here's a thought for everybody.
That was known in ancient culture.
Maybe the chemtrail spraying is part of giving them ground some more oxygen for the giants, or I mean, it makes you wonder, because what you just said, Joe, you see for yourself. I seen giants on Solomons Island with other people, but you, for yourself, have found hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of giants
That's
in
true.
fields, giants in. So there's hundreds of giants all over this world, in different places.
Absolutely, and that's a
And
hard
the air
fact.
is not messing with them.
No, it is not messing with them. They have no
It's
problem.
not.
And then
They have
people
no
need to
problem. They're
understand
alive. They're breeding. They're getting.
There are
There's more
underground
and more.
tunnels all over the world that giants can hide in and can come out and emerge during the day for so many hours. And I often find big giants wearing sunglasses, and people just think that's the most ridiculous thing ever. And I'm not sure why.
I don't
Giants
understand
are
why
not
people.
cavemen.
You have to
They
stop
have
yourself for a
technology.
minute and think, why would people think that's ridiculous? Because we're human and we have stuff, and if
Yeah,
that thing is a giant human, let's
yeah.
just forsake, then his brain is bigger than ours.
Well, you and I
He
both have
probably
seen
has
them
better
with.
stuff than we have.
Well, we've both seen them with weapons and all kinds of things
Yes.
in their heads. That's like you would say,
Yeah.
oh, well, he would have that. Absolutely.
Bizarre. Just
A
bizarre, mind
staff,
blowing
a
stuff.
sword. I found them with swords battling other.
Oh, yeah.
I found giants battling monsters on the Solomons, and I'm telling you, it was like a scene out of a Sinbad movie, dude. And it was like, but it was on. And you know, this creature that appeared to be half alien torso was just grinning from ear to ear. He thought this was hilarious. These smaller giants attacking him with swords, and he was apparently not sweating them. And I just thought that was so interesting, you know. But you could see that literally the expression on this thing's face, and you know, you just can't make that up. It's not. Oh, that's not a tree.
What
you know?
amazes
It's like,
me is a
no.
lot of giants that that I'll find and that Joe has found himself. A lot of them are a different assortment, and
Yeah.
they'll be all together, and a lot of them won't be fighting. It's
Yeah,
like
they're not fighting.
they're getting
They're
along.
clearly
It's so
gathering or doing something.
it's like, why
Yeah.
can't we, in our world that we live in, get along with the other color, with the other religion, with the other person? It's
Right.
you know,
Right.
why do we
Well
have to fight
said.
with China? Why do we have to fight with different countries? That's just
Right.
off the hook ridiculous. And here these creatures are standing next to each other, and
Yeah.
some of them are getting along. And
Obviously,
it's
we're all
amazing.
just trying to live. Yeah,
You
I don't
know,
get it.
I don't either.
What else you got in the way of fiery pictures over there?
Yes, Joe. So we're gonna get next to this. This might be a
What's
mammoth
the next
elephant.
one? No way. Let's. Oh yeah. Hold on now.
Hold
We
on, I gotta get
this
angles
focused.
here because the light. Oh man, it's like I have one of these cameras that you have to move the camera
Yeah,
facing a different way than the screen.
I see. Yeah, that's like a.
So I'm gonna zoom in.
right.
I'm gonna zoom into the mammoth elephant.
Yeah. That thing looks like a mammoth. We're not sure about that thing, but I'm not sure. Or it
Joe's
could
got
be
a
some
red
kind of
circle around that mammoth elephant.
creature. Yeah. The first thing I thought about it is it looked like an elephant or
It
a mammoth
does.
or.
It looks like an elephant. If not, it has the same things as an
And
elephant
the
does coming
second
out
thing
of
I
husk.
noticed,
It sure
the
does look
second-
like it has husk.
that's
It's almost
pretty
like I
crazy.
see 3 husks. It's weird, man. That's weird. Look at that.
It
You can
could
just
be-
see that
it's-
husk. And it's
I
got to
don't
be an
know,
elephant-ish.
As I look at it, when you zoom in, it could be a group of giants standing there. Those things that I thought were legs, it's possible that could be 2 giants. You got to go up though. Yeah, I'm not positive though. This is hard to interpret, man. This is
Yeah,
what
because
you get in.
they could be standing in front of the
You
elephant.
know what else? Now that I look at it, dude, it could be like a horse-like creature and somebody riding it. I'm on the fence here on this thing, but
It
it's
sure does look
definitely
like it has husk there, Joe. I mean, really
Yeah.
good detail of husk.
yeah, it looks
mean,
like
that's
tusk.
wild. Look at this one. This one trips me out. If I can get on it here, I'm gonna show everybody. Where is it at?
That big old
Okay.
dude there, he is enormous there.
Yeah, right. Damn, this camera is so weird. Right there. Look at this. Look at this giant with the praying mantis looking head.
Let me see.
Right in the bottom.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That dude. the praying mantis looking head or scorpion. One or the other looking head. Look at that. Looks like a praying mantis
I
head.
have found the
Arms, legs going down.
Yeah, I do. I see that. I see like a big old alien looking head, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like a praying mantis alien looking head, or
yeah, it's like a green head. Like that's weird.
One standing over there. That's crazy.
You get into the details of those things.
Yeah, his head right there, pointy down.
Yeah,
that's amazing. His arms coming out.
I don't know what that is. It looks like somebody could be laying on the ground there or something. I'm not sure.
That's amazing, man. Look at all these giants.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. See that guy in the background standing there over those things? I think there's some people dead there, and he's standing over them because it looks like some beings laying on the ground.
I've seen that too. They're like kneeling down looking at shit.
Behind that elephant, if you go behind that elephant up high, you see them big giant looking over those bodies there?
Yeah,
look at it.
Look, right there.
That big dude right there, look at it.
Look at him walk, and you can see his legs, everything. Look at that.
Yeah, he's like bent over looking at these things laying on the ground or whatever that is, you know. He's a big dude there. That's a big old dude. That dude there's 40 feet tall or something, man. Huge, you know. Those other dudes are 20 or 25 or 30, you know. That's crazy, dude. Look at all them giants in the background. They're all at like these tables or something. They're all like gathered, obviously, doing something, aren't they?
Look at the detail in there with the heads. Oh, the arms. Look at that. Look, they're standing there.
You can tell they're all meeting, doing something. They're eating or doing something.
Amazing, Joe.
Picture number 3, man.
That's amazing, man.
I got a bunch of different ones in there where I caught numbers of them, and some of them I caught them in the snow, and that's generally good because you can get a clear silhouette of them, you know, and know that it ain't a tree.
This one's gonna blow everyone's mind. Giants
what do you
everywhere.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now you're in the fun stuff. Now here is something that I'm puzzled about, and I want to, once you get that thing, what are you looking at? Oh, that's awesome. That is amazing. If you zoomed in on that, that would be magic. Oh, hold on now. Now you're getting somewhere. Easy, right there.
Look at the detail, folks.
That's incredible, dude. And what these are, I just don't understand. These, sometimes it looks like these pointed like spires. But then I can see these people in amongst them. I'm just not sure. And this is a thing that I find over and over and over. I cannot tell you why. But you can see that there. You can see the colors. You can see a big giant standing there looking at the camera right in the middle of that shot. You can see another giant wearing a dark jacket looking off to the right. These are big giants, some of these. And it's amazing to catch them that clear. They're very hard to get that clear.
That's right.
If you get a clear shot like that. See now, like if you go off in this area to the left where you see that blue looking stuff, that's very interesting to me. There's really no reason. See all that blue?
Like it, right where my finger is.
Yeah.
This giant right here has a pick in his hand. I'm going to zoom in, and you can see he's got like a round pick.
A pick in his hand?
Look it. It looks like a red-haired giant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's got like a sickle in his
Yeah,
hand.
you see it now? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Going closer. Look at
Yep,
that.
yep,
Some
yep.
kind of sickle weapon. Whoa, wicked.
Well,
man.
again,
Look at
the
them
ones
all.
behind him, yeah, you can start getting the detail of what's going on, and it's like, again, it's a party I kind of am glad I missed because, damn, you know, here's looked like a big dude, but that blue is very curious to me.
Maybe it's snow. Maybe it's ice.
Well,
where is this at, Joe? Is this in Alaska or where is it?
If I had to guess, I would say Alaska.
Alaska?
I can't remember. It's possible.
That's probably snow.
It's either Alaska or Iceland, and it doesn't look like Iceland.
Snow kind of resembles a blue look with a white like that.
Yeah, I don't know why it's so blue there. I just don't get that. That's a little bit curious to me. And when you zoom in there, you can just see it's just like...
I know it's starting to amaze me because I've seen that Roger guy we talked about do that before. Zoom into the camera and Bruce sees all.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
I've seen him do it as well. Look at that. Looks like a horse giant right there.
I'm seeing detail there.
Wow.
It's crazy to see the outline of these things.
He's so close
up to the left. Oh yeah, get that group. Pick a group of them and get them and zoom in. And that's what I want people to see. Everyone thinks, oh, well, those are just trees. It's like, yeah, zoom in on those, you know? It's like,
they're not trees, man. Trees don't have
they're
heads
not
and details
trees.
and weapons.
And the thing is, really, none of it is trees. I mean, you know, there's these spire things, but that's just crazy, you know?
Isn't that, Joe? That's just wild, man. So,
but again,
just quantities of giants.
The numbers, you know.
It's like, what's going on there? Are they getting together to do what? To war? Or to plan something? Or, you know what I mean?
I swear, dude, it looks like the fair to me. Like they're all just getting together, gigging, man. It's like, hey, we're going to hang out. You know,
that's crazy, man. Amazing.
That's some pretty amazing stuff, man. But that's the kind of stuff I was finding when I ran into Ethan, and that's how we ended up working together because we were finding exactly the same kind of stuff, man. And I said, dude, I know how to do this. I know what you're looking for. And he said, well, you need to look at the Solomon Islands. And I looked at about 20 minutes, and I was like, oh my gosh, dude, there's some terrifying stuff going on here. Wild. You know?
Very wild.
We found some amazing stuff still. Every day we look at the Solomons. I looked there today, and I found amazing stuff there today. You know?
Big time, man. It's not the only place with giants. That's what makes it creepy. And the more I find out, now that I've met Joe, and the more I find out, it's like, oh my gosh, they're not just there; they're in other places and around the world here.
Well, they're a little bit of everywhere, and it's just hard to understand that you know, you could find them in those numbers. But when I looked on the Solomons, man, I started finding the thing about the Solomons, man. I started finding the monsters, which is scary. You know, we would find these things that that's the only way you can call them is a monster. I mean, I found some things that were crawling, that had skulls, and they crawled and had spider legs. And I got the picture, man. It's amazing, like, well, they're there, man. Giant skull spider leg creatures, for whatever that's worth, or giant spiders that look exactly like a skull. Hell, I don't know. I'm just saying what I saw in the picture. But there were some big giants standing looking down at them like, look at those things, you know. I was like, yeah.
Amazing.
Indeed. Let's look at those. Amazing. What is that? I think we're going to solve some mysteries, dude. When we get to the Solomon Islands, and we're going to get some shots. Hopefully, put a lot of long-held rumors to rest. You know. Can you feel that happening?
Oh yeah.
You know. What are you previewing through there, pal?
Oh, there's something else.
Lay it on me, sir.
Boom.
Yikes. Wow. Yeah. Now you're in it.
Now, a typical person would think trees.
Yeah.
Well, when you
That's
go zooming in,
Yeah.
and you start to see they have detail on heads and shit,
Yeah.
and then you know it's not trees, man.
Yeah, it's true, man. It's true. Those are, and I don't have a good explanation for what those are other than this.
Look at that. Look at them standing there. Look at them, man. You see the head, the
There's
arms, the legs.
Sometimes there's these giant spires I see, and I cannot explain that. Other than to say that if you were a huge giant, that would stop you from walking up through there for sure. These giant spires, but I don't know if these are grave areas. There's clearly some giants standing there. You can see them in the foreground.
Yeah.
So there are people here. They're big. Well, we could call them people. They would be giant people.
Look at the
This is
legs
a
open,
satellite.
walking.
We should tell people this is a satellite shot from a satellite. So all of these beings are huge. They would start in the 30-foot range. The ones that I would guess to 40 feet. Some of these are big as a tree. They could go up to 60 feet, the bigger ones. And a lot of people have a hard time believing that, and I don't know what to tell you because there they are. You know,
those ain't pointy treetops. Those are heads.
Those are just people. You can tell you can tell what
Giants.
a humanoid looks like.
Those are giants, man.
It's exactly. And look here in this right area on the right where you can see a bunch of them. There's some smaller beings over there, and what you'll find is small. They group together in the kinds and the sizes. Yeah, that area. You go up a little. You see those dudes there hanging out?
Oh.
Those are beings. Those tan-looking things. Those are actually giants, and they're all just hanging out, I believe, man.
Amazing.
And they're different. Some of them look different. I don't know, man. Some of them look cartoony. They just look like.
Look at the leg spread.
Yeah, they just look like things that shouldn't be, you know. But there they are. And these are big things too. Like, if you saw this, you'd faint. You know, look at those things hanging out there. What the hell is all that, man?
Home of the world.
I'm just saying, this is what I find, and man, it's I don't know how to put. That's pretty amazing, dude.
Whole nother world, man. Whole nother
Those
world.
are my shots, and I freak out looking at them, dude. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, wow, what is that? But you know, this is case in point of what we're talking about. That this is a subject that needs to be addressed. It's not something that's like, oh, we've got a fuzzy picture or whatever.
No.
We've got plenty of pictures of these things clear.
You can make it out.
Yeah.
You
There's
can
no
make it. You
doubt
can make
that it
details
is.
out. You can make the shape out. You can tell it's a person. It's not a. You know, you can
No
definitely
doubt
tell.
what that is. And then, so now we got to deal with that as a truth. And people go, oh, well, how do you know? How do you know? At some point, you just got to just jump on the horse, man.
Oh
You
yeah.
can't say, well, those giants can't exist because they can. Because I got pictures. And not just one or two or 10 or 20 or 100, a bunch.
So much
And
that
you
it kind of makes you scared. You know?
Yeah, so much that's it would kind of make you
Mm-hmm.
scared. But what an
Makes you
awesome
scared.
show we have had, sir. What's our time frame like?
Awesome. It's been wonderful, Joe. So everybody, today was a day to show you guys a lot of giants. And Joe did so on that. We are definitely going to
We
be
just
doing
wanted to
another
put a
show
pin
soon.
in that there are large numbers
Yes,
of giants.
everywhere. Not just on
Solomon's and other-
Solomon's. Everywhere.
But boy, we do find them at the Solomons, so we're excited about checking that out.
Pretty
and we
crazy.
Can take that's their focus.
So
But
make
we
sure
just
everybody subscribe and
Yes.
like and comment. If you have any comments
out our
about
YouTube
anything, questions,
channel.
and make sure you ask. Joe or I will answer. It's been a wonderful show, guys.
Can we talk
Learning
about how we'd love
giants.
to get? Can we talk about how we'd love to get a few more YouTube subscribers? Because I think we need that.
Oh, yes. We got plenty of gifts as well, guys. We're giving away plenty of gifts on different amounts of subscribers. You can check that out in the post area. Or have flyers in there on the different gifts that we're giving away when we reach different amounts of subscribers. That's right.
So we're excited about getting new subscribers. We just want to remind you to do that and check out our YouTube because we're trying to get over the hump here and get the word out about the giants, man. So thanks for checking us out today.
It's been great, Joe. See you
Thanks,
next time.
buddy. All right. See you.